Bonjour et bienvenue à French with Aranya. Our today's topic is les pronoms relatifs. Pronoms relatifs are of two kinds, pronom relatif simple and pronom relatif composite. In today's video, we are going to talk about pronom relatif simple. Pronom relatif simple are used to join two sentences and to replace the noun in order to avoid repetition. They are of four kinds, que, qui, où and do. Let's see them one by one. First one is qui. Qui means who or which. Qui is used to replace the subject in the sentence. For example, if I say, je regarde la fille, elle porte une robe rouge. Now in the second sentence, what is our subject? Elle. And it is being repeated in the second sentence also. Je regarde la fille and elle porte une robe rouge. Qui porte la robe rouge? Fille. La fille. So, in order to replace this elle in the second sentence, I will be using qui. And the sentence will become Je regarde la fille qui porte une robe rouge. Same way, in the second sentence, if I see il voit les documents sont dans le bureau. Now what is being repeated? Les documents. So this is the subject which is being repeated in the second sentence, and to replace this again we'll be using qui. So the sentence will become il voit les documents qui sont dans le bureau. Now it's not necessary that the subject has to be a person. It can be a person or a thing also, like in this example. And usually after the qui there has to be a verb. Usually there is a verb after qui in the sentence. Next one is que. Que means which or that. Now this is used to replace the objet direct in the sentence. For example, if I say c'est une idée, je ne partage pas cette idée. So what is the object in the second sentence? Idée. And this is being repeated also. So in order to avoid this idée in the sentence, I'll use que. And when I use que here, then I will remove this from the sentence. So my answer would be c'est une idée que je ne partage pas. Next one, prenez ce parfum, j'aime bien ce parfum. What is the object in the sentence? Parfum. And parfum is being repeated also. So in order to avoid the repetition of the objet, I'll use que here. And when I'll be using que, I'll remove this from the second sentence. And my sentence will become prenez ce parfum que j'aime bien. And one more thing, that whenever my subject will be beginning with a vowel, I have to use QU apostrophe instead of que. For example, if it was prenez ce parfum, elle aime bien, then it would have been prenez ce parfum qu'elle, QU apostrophe, because here my subject is beginning with a vowel, so I'll use QU apostrophe qu'elle aime bien. Next one is où. Où means where or when. It is used to replace the place or time in the sentence. For example, regarde cette belle maison, j'habite dans cette maison. What is being repeated in the sentence? Cette maison. And because maison is a place here, that's why to replace this place, I'll be using où. So here I'll be writing où. And my sentence will become regarde cette belle maison où j'habite. Now because I have already replaced maison in my sentence, I'll remove this while joining two sentences. Next one, elle a ouvert la chambre, ma mère dort dans cette chambre. What is being repeated? Chambre is being repeated. And to avoid this repetition, because chambre is also a place, I will be using où here. And my sentence will become Elle a ouvert la chambre où ma mère dort. I'll remove the sentence when I join these two sentences. Last one is il est arrivé un jour, il pleuvait ce jour-là. Now, O is also used to replace time in a sentence, and here we are talking about time. He arrived that day, the day it was raining. So, in order to avoid repetition of the time, we'll use O here also. So, when I join the sentence using a pronoun, I'll say il est arrivé un jour où il pleuvait, and I'll remove this because it has already been replaced by O. Next one is though. Though means whose, of which, about whom, or about which. Now, there are some expressions which use the with them. For example, avoir besoin de quelque chose, to need something. Parler de quelque chose, and there are such kinds of verbs which use the with them. So, whenever there are some verbs which use expressions the with them, or there are some expressions using preposition the, then to replace them we'll be using do. For example, j'ai perdu mon sac à dos, j'ai besoin de mon sac à dos. What is being repeated? Sac à dos. And because in this sentence we have the expression avoir besoin de, to replace this we'll be using do. So here I'll be adding do to join the sentence, and it will become j'ai perdu mon sac à dos dont j'ai besoin, and my sentence will end here. Next one, j'ai vu un film, tu m'as parlé de ce film. What is being repeated? Film in the sentence. And here the expression is the verb parler de quelque chose. So to replace this, I'll be using do. And my sentence after joining will become j'ai vu un film dont tu m'as parlé. We will also use dont when our next sentence will be beginning with an adjective possessive. For example, je connais Paul, son père est professeur. I know Paul, his father is professor. Whose father is professor? Paul. So here I want to say le père de Paul est professeur. That's why here also for saying whose father is professor, I'll be using dont. And when I use dont, I'll change this adjective possessive to article definite, and this will become dont le père. So my answer will be je connais Paul dont le père est professeur. Let's see another example. J'ai rencontré mon voisin, ses enfants sont intelligents. Now here also we have used adjective possessive, and in order to replace this adjective possessive, I'll be using do. I met my neighbor whose children are intelligent. So here I'll be joining these two sentences with do, and when I'll join with do, I'll remove this ses, say, and I'll replace this with les. So dont les enfants. J'ai rencontré mon voisin dont les enfants sont intelligents. Let's do a small exercise. We need to fill these blanks with pronom relatif sample. La lettre dash is sur la table est importante. The letter which is on the table is important. What is on the table? The letter. So that's why the letter is the subject and we need to replace that. So that's why we'll be writing the pronom relatif qui. Qui est sur la table. Next one, il y a une phrase dash je ne comprends pas. Now, I need to ask myself the question, je ne comprends pas what? I'm not able to understand what? La phrase. So that's why that is the objet in the sentence. So because we need to replace the objet, we'll be writing que. Now there is one more hint that immediately if after the blank we have a verb, usually there will be pronom relatif qui. And 90% of cases whenever we have pronom sujet after the blank, immediately after the blank, then we'll be using que as the pronom relatif. Next one, il y a beaucoup de gens dash habitent dans cet immeuble. There are a lot of people who live in this building. So because les gens are the subject here, that's why we'll be using he. And here we have a verb also. Next one, j'ai un travail dash je suis content. I have a work about which I'm happy. So now if you see here we have the expression être content de quelque chose. So because we have the expression here, we'll be using do in the blank. So I have a work about which I'm happy. Next one, c'est la ville dash mes grands-parents habitent. It's the city where my grandparents live. So because we are talking about a place, we'll be putting O as pronoun relative in the blank. I hope pronoun relative sample are clear to you. So here's an exercise for you to practice. You can check your answers at the end of the video. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.